Algebra 2, our 8.6 practice test. Let's look at number 2. We've got exponential equations, but we're going to deal with problems where this right side cannot be expressed as a power on the left side. 14 is not 2 raised to a power. So what you have to do, you might hopefully remember, is that you're going to take a log on both sides. Now, there are many logs you could be taking. However, what you would really like to do is get log base 2. You want for the base of the log to also match the base of this exponent. The reason is now this is going to wipe out, and you'll just have an x. Now on the right side here, you've got the log base 2 of 14. We'll just hit math. You can up arrow and go to log base. Log base 2 of 14. We need to go to the nearest hundredth. You can see the second decimal place is a 0, but we look to the right, that's a 7, so that would round up to 3.81. And we are done. For letter B, again, 7 is not a power of 3, so I need to take a log, and I'm going to take a log base 3. And again, I hope it's obvious why it's a base 3. You're trying to match the base of the exponent and the base of the log. When that happens, you're going to get canceling, and you're just going to have an x. Now the log base 3 of 7, same thing that we just did a moment ago. We'll just go to our calculator to get some help there. Here's your base of 3. Here's your 7. And that's about 1.77. A little bit different in the sense that we don't round that problem. When you look to the right of the 7, you don't have a number 5 or bigger. Letter C. What you want to do is get your exponential term alone. So I'm going to minus a 3 on both sides. And we'll have 2 raised to the x plus 1. And our exponent's a little bit more complicated, but tell you what, I'm going to take a log base 2 on both sides. And again, I hope you're catching this pattern that whatever the base is, that's a base of 2, that's going to be the base of the log. The reason, the whole purpose, is that that wipes out. And then nicely, you'll just have x plus 1. So at this point, let's get what the log base 2 of 7 is. We can do that pretty quickly. Here's a little trick. Look at this. We just did the log base 3 of 7 ago. How about I go second enter, which will pull back what I just typed. It's another way you can do that. Back arrow and just put a 2 in its place. When you hit enter, you've got it. It's about 2.807 roughly. But then what? Well, you got a minus a 1. You can even use your calculator to subtract that 1. You can see we're going to be at 1.80, but look to the right, you see a 7. That 0 rounds up to a 1. So we get 1.81. Last one in number 2 right here. Let's subtract 11. 20 minus 11 is 9. And again, 9 cannot be written as a power of 10. But what I'll do is I'll take a log base 10 on both sides. We'll have the log base 10 over here. And the real cool thing is, as you're matching up, the 10s here wipe out. You're just going to collapse this down to a 4x minus 5. Log base 10 of 9. Please understand that the log button right next to the 7, when you don't see a base, it's understood to be a 10. So the log of 9, you can work that out real quickly. You'd get 0.954 roughly. Now what you do is you solve for x. So I'm going to add a 5 to both sides. I'll have 4x And here you'd get 5.954, something like that. So just add a 5. Then what? Well, you got to divide by 4. And we're going to have to round this off to 2 decimals. You can see we'll get 1.49. This 8 is going to get bumped up because to the right of 8 is a number large enough to round up. As long as your number is 5 or bigger, you round up. So you get 1.49. And we are done with part 2, or problem number 2.